Hi Pisces, welcome to your June 2017 love reading. It's Raina here. So I'm going to be saying this in front of all my videos. If you are a single person, I'm going to be doing separate love readings for single people. So I am bowing down to the, well, it's not really pressure. It wasn't like I just had a massive amount of people asking me. I think it was only 2 or 3. And I just never even thought of doing it like that. So I just figured, why not? Because I saw on other people's videos that people are asking this over and over again. So it makes it easier for me because then I don't have to try to make the readings fit both scenarios. And I think it'll be fun just to like focus on one thing versus the other, but you can feel free to watch this if you're single anyhow, because you might get something of value. And the other thing I wanted to say is that in a month or 2, I'm going to be doing on-demand twin flame type of readings. I don't know exactly how it's going to be. It's going to be more of a spiritual reading and talking about things that you can do to attract love to you in different ways and things like that. Maybe it'll be like I'm going to use oracle cards. I'm going to try to do it a little bit differently, and maybe a tarot spread too that's geared for that. But and then just charge like $1.11 or something. You know, people that are new age, you always have these cutesy little prices. You know, like $4.44. That's how much I charge for my ebook, and you know, you've seen it. And it's kind of cool, but still, just have something that, and also offer longer, you know, like at least 20 or 30 minutes long. So it's not like just a 5-minute video or anything. So let's see. Oh, and this reading is going to be a modified Celtic cross. So it's going to have some positions are a little bit different than what you may be used to if you are familiar with the Celtic cross spread. And, you know, I like to mix things up a little bit sometimes. And so that's why I'm doing it. I felt drawn to do it this month like that. Whoa. And I'll tell you what the positions are. So in case you're curious how I'm getting these ideas. Okay, so I'm going to pick out the card that is the main focus and the card that crosses it. And to start off here, the main focus is the Queen of Cups. This is a woman who can be a water sign, so if you're watching and you're a woman, this could be definitely you as a Pisces, my goodness. And it's a card of somebody very gentle, very intuitive, maybe artistic. And because it's a queen and not like something else, like maybe a Page of Cups, there is a maturity. Sometimes this can be a mother or if you are a mother and that is something that is featured. Like let's say you're pregnant, or let's say you have children and you're dealing with a lover or a partner who you're not getting along with. There may be some concerns you're having. But it can just be somebody who's on the mature side. I'm talking about emotionally more than chronologically. And their general sense of self, emotionally mature, okay? And what's the conflict, or what is the obstacle? The Ace of Pentacles. In a love reading, this could be that you are trying to start a relationship with somebody, but maybe the timing isn't right. Maybe you've met somebody, and maybe specifically they are a an earth sign individual, a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or have it very prominent in their chart, that earthiness and that practicality in their basic personality, and which is a good match for you, by the way. But maybe the timing is not right for whatever reason, and it feels like things can't get going. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is a very positive card, so even if you do meet somebody, or, you know, and by the way, if you're watching this in May, this is for June, so this could be something in your future, even though it's like the obstacle, it might not have even happened yet. But if it's true, and by the way, it could also be like maybe you've started a new job and that is preventing you from being able to have a positive relationship, or a relationship at all. Like if you are single, or you are looking for someone. But since this is more geared towards people in relationships already, it may be that a new job is coming between you and your personal life. And even for some of you, you may be dealing with somebody from a job, from a workplace environment, and it's not a good situation. I was just thinking, because this is like the, oh my gosh, you could be dealing with your boss, because this is the boss. This is the head honcho. And especially with the Pentacles, this could be somebody who actually owns a physical business, or a bank, like a manager at a bank, or some big wig that is specifically connected to matters of material distribution of some kind. So rather than like a teacher, or you know, a scientist, somebody who's dealing with goods, and maybe they have their own shop, or maybe they are a manager that deals a money institution, or an accountant or something like that. And this is like the root, the heart of the situation. So it could be that you're dealing with your boss. And if that's the case, that could be coming in between you and that new job. I mean, that could be threatening it. That could be what the Ace of Pentacles. And with it being an ace, it would be something recent. But, you know, that aside, it's just a situation where here's another possibility, that you're the father of your child is problematic, and so you are trying to maybe get away from that situation. But anybody new that you have tried to come, you know, get with, it doesn't work out. One of the things about Pisces that I think is something to look at is in terms of escapist behavior, okay? So if you're the kind of person who finds it hard to kind of face things in an appropriate way, maybe you're like, maybe the King of Pentacles, maybe that's your husband or something, and you can't deal with the fact that the relationship isn't what you want. Instead of dealing with it directly, you may be tempted to run away from it by having an affair, and that doesn't solve the problem. Now, it's very interesting because I get for the recent past the Six of Swords. So this does suggest somebody who has left a situation. And perhaps for some of you, it's leaving a job, a past job, because you were having an affair with the boss. For other people, it could be that you're not getting along with the father of your child, and you are, you know, you felt the need to distance yourself from this person. However, because this is the root of the situation, it still may be in play for some reason. If the person is the father of your child, obviously you may have to deal with them on a regular basis. And so you don't really have the option of just totally cutting them out of your life. Or maybe you still have feelings for that person and that keeps you kind of tied to them in a certain way. Maybe just in an energetic way, and you don't know what to do about it because it's like you try to get away, but it's hard to really get away. It's funny, this is the spiritual message, and it's the Hierophant. Now, I said an earth sign, this is connected to Taurus, so maybe they're just telling us the exact earth sign individual. But for some people, this is a card, in a love reading, there's two possibilities. One is marriage. So maybe you were with somebody and they would not commit. Or you are torn because you wanted to leave a marriage and you think there's something wrong with that. You think that you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. The other thing about the Hierophant is about conformity. And so as a Pisces person, I tend to think of the water signs and the earth signs as traditionalists in a lot of ways. But Pisces, you are a little bit different because you are the type of person who does not necessarily follow the path of other people in some cases. Some of you are, maybe more than the average person, are artistic and spiritual, and this makes it hard to fit in to the kind of society that the King of Pentacles represents, okay? And so even though you can do a good job of pretending to be normal, you know, I put that in quotes, but you know what I mean. You really are not abnormal, but you really are different. And I think it's always good to honor who you are and not be ashamed of it and to embrace it. And in the case of anything that's happening to you, you may feel like you're looking for that person that is the right fit for you. The Queen of Cups is somebody who's really in touch with their intuition. And sometimes you may be a little bit not trusting of your own ideas, and you might think that they're not correct, but in fact they are totally correct. If you feel something, you should honor it, as long as it's not harmful to you or somebody else, obviously. But you may question, maybe you even question if you have the right to pursue what you want, and the answer is of course you do. Everyone has the right to happiness, even Pisces people. And I'm just putting these over to the side because I know that they're going to get all messed up, and probably already are. That wasn't really a good thing to do, but I had to do it. So for the near future, we have the Moon card, and this this can be like timing. So in June we have we actually have a new moon in the 5th house in Cancer of romance for you. So perhaps that will be a time that some of you will, if there was a person that you were trying to be with and you were able to get away from a current situation, maybe you will end up with that person at that time, or maybe you'll meet somebody new. And the point about all of this is that recently there has been a Venus retrograde, and you were part of that because Venus went back into Pisces during the retrograde. And so some of you may have had some kind of contact with somebody from your past. Actually, the full moon in Sagittarius, okay, no, that won't be, no, scratch that. That's going to be in your 10th house. So that doesn't, I was thinking of your 4th house. And, oh, well, as I record this, it's before the new moon in Gemini. Well, it's actually before the new moon in Scorpio, but at the end of May, there's going to be a new moon in Gemini, and that will be your 4th house of home and family. So if you did meet somebody during the retrograde, or reunited with somebody, maybe from your past, maybe you're starting over with them, and the timing will be better. The moon can also be an indication that you are not being honest with yourself about something. So really make sure that you're not telling yourself a false narrative about your situation, because that can definitely happen, and people can end up very disillusioned because they were not truthful with themselves, and they ended up wasting a lot of time on relationships that either continue to stall. This is like a sense of something stalling, and maybe the timing will never be good enough for it. But usually with the Ace of Pentacles, it's just that it is delayed, perhaps, because it's a very positive card. But sometimes people, when they're not like truthful with themselves, they can go on the wrong path in terms of getting involved with somebody that is not really appropriate for them. It's not really the wrong path. I don't really think you can go too far off course, because you can always learn something from any situation, but you know what I mean. I'm just talking about doing something that's going to get you what you want. If you want love, you have to go to a place where it's more likely to occur. And this is your psychological state, your state of consciousness, the 4 of Cups. This is a card of indifference, maybe dissatisfaction. So this could be with a person that you're with right now, that maybe the relationship has not grown. You haven't grown as a couple. And you see the cloud offering a cup. This is like the universe offering you love and you not taking it. This is, to me, a little bit of a warning not to develop an attitude of ingratitude, in terms of, because there could be somebody around that is a good person for you. By the way, this is your card. So unless this is another Pisces person who's coming into your life, this could be a water sign, so maybe it is a Pisces. But there might be somebody in your life who really is kind to you and treats you well, and you can't see it because you're hung up on somebody else. And so be careful of that, because sometimes people do that. And it's not that they have a lack of opportunity to meet appropriate people. It's that they always reject the people who treat them well. And they gravitate, they make a beeline towards the people who treat them like crap. The influences around you, represented by the Tower card. So someone that is involved in a situation you're involved in can find something shocking. And if you're having an affair, it could mean that the person finds out about it and, you know, had no idea it was happening. The Tower card is feared by a lot of people because they think of some calamity. But actually what happens is that it's kind of like this thing that's building, that it's like something's got to give, you know. That's what I think of when I think of the Tower card, where you can't any longer pretend that everything is okay. You have to just deal with the reality of the situation. And it clears the air, even though there can be a bit of sadness about it. You know, what I was thinking of is that some of you may be involved with somebody who's this kind of businessman, earth energy, that kind of thing, and you left your spouse for them and they didn't leave theirs. Okay, that could also be what's happening, and that's why there's a kind of a delay. And it's like something, you can't keep going on like this, and something outside of you can be a catalyst for everything to kind of come out. Right when I said that, I have the horns. The advice is the Ten of Swords, which is an interesting piece of advice. This could sometimes, in this position, could be what could happen, and this is a card of betrayal, being stabbed in the back. So I would say that you have to be careful of who you put your faith in. You may have left a relationship trusting somebody, and the other person, they were always, for lack of a, I can't think of another word, bullshitting you and telling you that they were going to leave their spouse and all this, and that didn't happen. Maybe you know, uprooted your life completely and the other person didn't. And maybe the ultimate thing for you to do is to realize that you've been had, because that's how you can move on. Okay, so with this card in the near, oh, you know what I should have said too? In the near future, it could be that something needs to be revealed, and it's you know, it's close to that moon card. So maybe it has to do with somebody that you're involved with. Maybe they were not being honest with you about what was happening, and they told you an alternative version of the truth, otherwise known as a lie, you know, about what was happening. And now you kind of understand maybe that you were not treated properly. You were given, somehow you may even feel taken advantage of in some way. And I wouldn't disagree with you. But the bottom line in any of these types of situations is that it's all for your growth, your expansion. So even if it hurts, embrace it, because the Ten of Swords is about hitting bottom. And it doesn't mean that you're going to hit bottom in terms of like you're going to go lower than you are right now. It means that whatever has happened to you, it's the worst is over. And so it's time to start a new chapter. The number 10 refers to new chapter, the end of an old chapter. And the outcome is the Four of Swords. And this is about rest, recuperation, reflection. This is a card of going within. This is not a time of like partying, social kinds of things. So this reading, Pisces, as a general reading, is telling a story of someone who may have believed what somebody else told them, and maybe is grappling with a marriage that, in some cases, maybe somebody told you that they were going to marry you and they didn't, and you found out it was all just a ploy to get you in bed or whatever. The Queen of Cups, as the heart of the reading, really speaks to your psychic abilities. When you really are honest with yourself, tune into yourself, you can discern people and their motives a lot better. I think sometimes Pisces people tend to get played because they do have such a trusting nature. And the end result can be what these cards represent, which is disappointment in love, not having what you wanted. And that's a shame, because you deserve the best. You deserve all the good that can come to you. So in any case, the story continues, and I hope you enjoyed this, Pisces. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below this video. Otherwise, have a blessed June. Bye.